Let's do Vitality first. So Vitality are going to have Salutatus, Selfmade, Lider, Crown Shot, Labrov. Now, I think that's not bad, because if you think about it, look, let me give you some insight as to why I think that roster would be pretty good. First of all, Labrov is really good. Labrov is a really good support player, okay? He's rank 1. Dude, why am I getting the most gorgeous redheads on my fucking... Guys, what? You block Origin. Why don't I have you block Origin? Fixed. Fixed, fixed. Guys, shut the fuck up. You're in the horny jail. Yeah, so this roster is not bad. Like, Crown Shot is a really good AD. I think Crown Shot and Comp are both really, really good ADs, right? Labrov is rank 1 in EUS. This guy was rank 1 last season as well. Look at this. 1.2k LP, 1.1k LP. Like, this guy has always been really high-low, and he's really mechanically good. I think last split in LEC Spring 2021, I think you saw that he had a very high skill ceiling towards the end of the split. Towards the end of the split, Labrov was doing really well. So, I think the bot lane for Vitality is actually really strong. You add Selfmade, who I think is still one of the best junglers in Europe. Lider, who I think could be one of the best mid laners in Europe. And then Salutatos, who I actually don't know a lot about him. Maybe I just butchered his name. But I don't know a lot about Salutatos. But his champ pool looks pretty good. I think the difference between his champ pool and Adam's champ pool is... You can just see the flexibility, right? So you've got full ADs. So you've got Renekton, Darius, Aatrox, Olaf, Camille, Irelia set as like the bruiserish carries. Then you got Cho'Gath, Sion, which is like weak side kind of tanks. Look at Salutatos. Still has Jace, Gnar, Renekton, but he also has like Gragas, Volibear, Kennen, AP tops, Ryze, Quinn, Lee Sin, Ornn. So I feel like Salutatos' champion pool is actually bigger. Am I butchering his name? Mordekaiser, GP, Shen, Sylas, Rumble, Vladimir, Kayle, Wukong, Akali, Sejuani. Like, this guy's champion pool is a lot bigger, right? You would argue against Adam. And I think you saw that in the EU Masters Finals, where Adam was kind of getting targeted a bit. Renekton was banned out most of the games, I think. And he was playing, like, what, Olaf? Yeah, Olaf, Sion, Cho'Gath, Darius, Renekton. His Irelia was fine, but not very successful. It was mostly Renekton, Darius, Sion, Olaf, I think. You can see that here. And then, yeah, look at Salutatus. You can see the difference, right? Vladimir, Mordekaiser, Shen, Renekton, Jax, Camille. This is Season 10. Jace, Gnar, Kennen, Quinn. I think these players are similar, I must admit. I think they both look really good. I think they would both do really well in the LEC, actually. I think they'll both do really well in the LEC. I think they're both somewhat ready. I think SLT is slightly more ready than Adam, I would say, just based on champ pools. But Vitality's roster is pretty good. Vitality's roster is pretty good. I think Selfmade is fucking good. I think Lider is also really good. SLT is really good. And I think that the good thing about Vitality is because Lider's champion pool has always been like not controversial but always questioned, where it's like Lider plays AD mids, right? And a little bit of Ryze. Look at his AP mids. He has Azir, which I think we will count that out for now. Kassadin, Echo, Assassins, one wave clear mid, Sylas, Assassin, Ryze, Slide Laner, and Akali, of course. So Salutatus can actually make up for his lack of AP mids with things like Kennen, Gragas if needed, Ryze. Even last year, Mordekaiser. These AP top laners, Rumble, Vladimir, Kayle, Akali, Flex even. So I think these two solo laners work well together. They're both really good side laners. You have Selfmade in the jungle. I would get a little bit excited about Vitality. I think this is a good roster swap, I must say, because, I mean, they were basically 9th place. If you look at their old solo laners in Shigenda, Milika, there was really not much going on, it felt like. Yes, like, Shigenda got a solo kill on Bwipo once, I think. Other than that, they were pretty quiet. So I definitely have to just look at the Vitality roster of this year and then the Vitality roster coming in summer, and I compare them, right? Salutatos, Atus, I don't know, I'm probably butchering it. Salute, I'll just say Salute. I think Salute is probably better than Shigenda, on my eyes, just on paper. Selfmade is better than Skins. Lider is better than Milika. So already your top side stronger, and they get along well, because Selfmade wants to play with Lider, apparently. And then the bot lane, I think Labrov is really good. You saw it towards the end of the split. Labrov is a really good player. So we'll ignore Crown Shot, who I think is also pretty reliable. Despite going 5-13, I think Labrov was one of their best players. Against Misfits, he was carrying. Towards the end of the split, when he started picking up wins, Labrov was kind of carrying. Yes, he was on Alistar a lot, but this guy is also rank 1. So I think Vitality is probably... I think Vitality, as long as they don't boom, which can happen when you have players like, you know... I mean, I won't say Lider's toxic. I don't think Lider is toxic. There's like this storyline that Lider's a toxic player. And I'm a bit biased because I'm friends with Lider. But Lider is not that toxic anymore. He's really hardworking. And I think Selfmade in a new environment might not be as toxic as well. And I'm not saying that Selfmade is toxic. I'm just saying that, you know, like the notion around Selfmade Lider is they're toxic players. I think they're both try hard. They both want to win. So I think Selfmade, Lider, Labrov, you already have really good core, really good mechanics. And then I think SLT is probably going to fit it really well. So I think Vitality will be a really strong team. I think Vitality will be a really strong team. The only question I have for Vitality is who the fuck's their coach? Because I know that Duke is not their coach anymore, right? Who's going to be their coach? Because I think the coach in this team is going to be really important. Okay. Well, I don't know who he is, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, the coaching staff will be really important. I think this team can be top 5 with a good coaching staff. Maybe even top 4 with a good coaching staff, but we'll have to see. Because there's a lot of things they'll have to manage. They'll have to manage drafts really, really well. They have to manage the out-of-game stuff really, really well. But I think the players themselves individually are definitely like really powerful, right? You have a rank 1 support. You have Lider, who's arguably the best mid out of LEC. Mechanically, really, really good. I think Lider is not that toxic either. Selfmade, I think, still top 5 jungler in EU at least. SLT is really good, and Crownshot's obviously a decent player. So it's not confirmed, but it's confirmed that SLT is joining. Apparently, this deal seems to be done. So we'll say if that team does go through, then it will be a strong team, I think. Let's move on to the next rumor. This deal's not done yet and could not happen. So there's a rumor that Tukuli could go mid as well. So it's not confirmed who's actually going to Vitality yet, or who's actually playing mid lane for them yet. But I think the coaching staff will be really important, to be honest. A lot of the times, coaches are not that useful, I would say. They're more like middlemen, and they start conversations. They don't really lead the team. They don't really draw concepts a lot. They're more of like a middleman. And I think that being a middleman in this team is not going to work, because I feel like a coach is going to get easily overpowered by these players. So I think with a good coaching staff and good structure, I think this team could be pretty good. And they should be pretty good. And then Bwipo going jungle. I can speak from my past experience of role swapping to jungle. When I played mid lane in the LCS, okay, I wasn't the best mid, right? In scrims, I feel like I was a decent mid in scrims when I was a mid lane in H2K. Obviously on stage, I was choking, but I think I was still pretty decent. And when I had the first thought, like, I want to play jungle, it sounded a lot easier than it was, okay? It sounded a lot easier than it was, because I felt like I was good enough at the game that jungle's probably easy to learn. And then I played jungle for a week, and I was like, okay, this might be a bit of a tough task. And I think it took me around 3 months or 4 months to get good at jungle. And then by about 5 or 6 months, I got rank 1 as jungle, right? But I think it does take a couple months to learn jungle and all the intricacies of it, pathing, all of these things, where to be, when to be there. So it was kind of difficult to adjust. Now, I think Bwipo has been playing a lot of jungle. I remember in in-houses at the end of 2019 summer, when 2020 was about to start, Bwipo was playing jungle in in-houses, and I think he was playing jungle in in-houses last year as well, as a fill. So he probably has some experience in jungle. And his champion pool is like, and his playstyle is kind of jungle-esque, just really fucking in your face. And I think the biggest thing that this roster change or role swap I can attribute it to is that he has Hylissang by his side, right? I think Hylissang is going to stay, and I think Hylissang and Bwipo are really close. And I think they both have a very, very similar playstyle where they love to flip it, or they love to just, you know, send it, which I respect a lot. I like that playstyle too. But as top support, it's really hard to just come together and do it because you're on opposite side of the map half the time, unless you're roaming top. So it could be this is my one take on this roster change, okay? Bwipo jungle, Hylissang support. It could be either really, really, really fucking good in the long term, or it's gonna be a train wreck, okay? Pog, let's go, man. That's what I think. It's either going to be really good or it's a train wreck, which might sound like a bit of a bad take because it really doesn't give you guys any insight. But I think Hylissang is fucking good. The problem I have with people's opinion on Hylissang is, you look at Hylissang, less than 7 months ago, he was easily one of the best supports at Worlds, right? You guys have to agree with that. At Worlds, in that top esports series, maybe the group stage was a bit shaky, but in that top esports series, he was one of the best supports at the World Championship. Now he has one bad split where he's like really, really off. And you can see that he was off. I don't know if it's something to do with the team, the environment. Loads of things probably went bad outside the game. And then he has one shit split and everyone wants to bench Hylissang. Guys, this is the problem I have. People want rookies to replace players who were fucking the best in their role at the Worlds last year. Less than half a year ago, this guy, Hylissang, was one of the best supports at Worlds. He has one bad split. Just replace him. What? If you put a rookie in for Hylissang, What kind of growth do you expect? Maybe in a year he'll be good. Maybe in 2 years the rookie will be good. But Hylissang in the top esports series, or the most recent games that he had in the best 5 worlds, he was fucking insane. Why are you guys doubting him so much? He had one bad split. One bad split happens. Every single player who has had success has had one bad split. 100%. Like, you can't just see one bad split of Hylissang and say, yeah, fuck it, just replace him. This guy Hylissang was insanely good in Fnatic 2018. Dude, this guy was a world's finalist, and he was one of the best supports last year. And everyone wants to replace him. Guys, shut the fuck up. Hylissang is insane. Hylissang is absolutely insane. Yes, Hylissang ran it down in spring. Yes, I'm not defending the fact that he entered it, okay? But I think that was more attributed to either the environment, the team not meshing well, or him just having a rough out-of-game kind of life going on, rather than him just being bad. So that's my opinion on Hylissang. So don't be delusional and don't doubt Hylissang. He's fucking good. You go watch a Hylissang montage from last year and you'll be like, yep, he's insane. And if you even remotely consider putting in a rookie over Hylissang, then you're absolutely fucking coconuts. Rant over. I think this could be either really good or really bad. It's either going to be a train wreck or it's going to be pretty good. But I don't think it's going to be really good in the first couple of weeks of summer. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. But Hylissang was coin flip last year too. The difference is last year, Hylissang's coin was weighted to one side, and that one side was pop off. But this time around, it didn't have weight on it. It was just a fucking flip. But I think that's not because of in-game stuff. I think that's because of out-game stuff. Anyway, is there any more rumors? Hiva joins Misfits as a coach. Yeah, I think Hiva's really smart about the game. So I like that change. Hiva's a good coach, I think. He's very good at understanding of players. Kirei joining Schalke. Okay. This is a bit biased. Slightly biased take here. But Kirei is a jungler who, I mean, this speaks for itself. Okay, you ready? Season 5, 800 LP. Season 6, 1.3k LP. Season 7, 1.2k LP. Season 8, he was a little bit on another account, I think. Season 9, 900 LP. Season 10, 800 LP. This guy has been top 5 in EUS solo queue for the last 5 years. Okay? For the last 5 years. He is fucking nuts in solo queue, this guy. Okay? He never really found success on stage. That's the thing with Kirei. I don't know if that's because of the teams that he's on or no one really gave him a chance. But he has been challenger since season 3, all the way in a row. There's only one other account that you can find with the exact same thing as this. And it's Reckless's account. The only other player with this many challenger finishes is Reckless's account. But this guy is a solo queue monster. The problem is he's never really found his footing in competitive play. Now, I don't know if this is happening because Gilius is going to another team or they want to replace Gilius. So I can't say whether Gilius is like getting kicked or he just wants to leave and go to an NA team. Maybe that's because, I don't know, maybe it's because Abadage left, that Gilius wanted to go to NA or something, or maybe there was a bigger team that was interested in Gilius, or if Gilius was just replaced, okay? So I don't know what side of it what happened. I don't know if he's retiring, I don't know if he's doing something else, I don't know if he's going to coaching, I don't know if he's playing another team, so I won't talk about Gilius. But I think Kirei is a really good player. I think you guys should be hyped for Kirei, because this is the most dominant solo queue jungler over the last 5 years in EUS solo queue. That's a fact. If you ask any solo queue player who the best jungler in solo queue is, like if you ask any of the top 10, top 20, top 30 players who the best jungler in solo queue is over the last 5 years, it was Kirei. Agharin's only really been good the last 2 years. Look, Master, Challenger 900. Yeah, these are the kind of years that Agharin became good. These are the years that Agharin became good. But Agharin is very controversial in the sense that he really only plays like 3 or 4 champions, right? Like, look at this. Kha'Zix, 200 games. Jarvan, Elise, Shyvana. And then after that, it gets a bit like meh. And you can see that on his Smurf account as well. This is his Smurf account. This is where he tries to practice champions, and there you go. Yeah, he tries to practice Nocturne, Mundo, Diana, Lee Sin. So he's a bit of a one trick, and that's the reason. Not a one trick, but like a 2 or 3 trick, and that's the reason he's really high low. Now he is really good on these champions, but on his Smurf when he tries to practice things, Grandmaster, Diamond 1, you know. So that's the thing with Agharin. Inspired, of course, Inspired is really good. Inspired is dominating solo queue too, but I'm talking like Kirei has been dominating it since season 3, so he's always been really good. All the players you guys are mentioning, Inspired, Manatee, like these guys are also really good in solo queue. But just the last 2 years, last 2 or 3 years, these guys have been really good. But Kirei has been really good since like season 6, guys. That's 5 years. How many more rumors have we got? Adam to Vitality to Fnatic. Yeah, it's because Bwipo's going jungle. I'm unsure how Adam will do in the LEC. I think he has the skill for it, but I think his champion pool is really abusable for LEC tops. I think his champion pool is really abusable, and I would attribute it maybe because this is the only information you have, or we have, of his pro career. There's 38 games in his pro career. That's it. There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else. That's it. This is the only 38 games he's played in competitive play. And he won EU Masters. So obviously that's fucking impressive. And he's really, really good. I remember Adam in Season 6, Season 7 in Challenger. This guy was sprinting everyone down. This guy was running everyone down on Darius. He was the biggest Darius one trick ever. And he was 16 years old, running around and griefing everyone. And you know who else was very similar to that? There's one other player who was running around at 16 who was a one trick griefing everyone. Do you know who it is, guys? Can anyone guess it? It was Caps. Caps was a fucking Riven one trick. The only other player that's been running around as a one trick when he was 16 was Caps. And he was running around playing the most disgusting champs ever. Season 7, I think, is when he went pro. I think that's when the Caedrel rework came in. Season 5, this guy was 16 and he was running around, running everyone down on Riven Z. He gave no fucks. He was a little bit toxic, I must admit, but he gave no fucks. He was running around and he was a bit immature. And then all of a sudden he was picked up and became the best player ever. I think when Aurelion Sol got buffed or came out, this is when Caps came pro. Aurelion Sol, I remember Caps was like hard stuck, a bit low elo in Challenger, like 600, yeah. And then when Aurelion Sol came out, he was like 1.3 KLP and he was fucking high low. And then he just became the best mid in Europe after the Catarina rework. And then he just became insane and he swapped account. So if you look at it, you know, Adam is really young. He was running around at 16 on Darius, griefing everyone. Maybe he'll do well. He was look, guys. Like, do you think if I gave you guys this OPG and you're a coach when he's 16, you think this guy's ever gonna go pro? 400 games of Darius, 60 games of Olaf, 30 games of Udyr when it was useless, and that's it. That's it. That was Adam when he was 16, 17, just running around with Ghost Darius in high-low griefing everyone. And now he's a pro. It's crazy how things change. So never give up if you're a one-trick. Never give up. But now he's 19, I think, 18, 19. And now he has a decent competitive champion pool. So maybe he does well. I'm not sure if he will do well. That's what I think his biggest weakness is. It's his champion pool. Still, his champion pool is a bit odd. You know, it's just full AD champs and a little bit of Cho'Gath. That's it. He doesn't play any EP champ top. Which is a weakness, I think. If you can't play things like Vladimir, Kayle, Mordekaiser, Ryze, Top, Gragas, Volibear, these kind of champs, then it's a little bit of a weakness. But he only really played Cho'Gath, so... Sylas as well, top, yeah. So he could have a weak champion pool, but he's obviously really good. He won EU Masters in his first competitive split ever, and he's young. So all these things are good, and I'm sure it's a lot to build off of for Fnatic if he does join Fnatic. So yeah, could be promising. This thing was ridiculous. That his buyouts 500k. I don't think that Fnatic paid 600k to get Adam. There's no way, no way. This doesn't mean the initial price was accepted. It was very possible it was lowered down. I'm not surprised. Carzzy Kaiser have not extended their contracts with Mad Lions. Doesn't mean they'll leave next year. And this is the thing. This exact same thing happened to Bwipo. And everyone lost their mind on Reddit. Guys, you understand that not re-signing to a team doesn't mean that you're leaving. It just means that when your contract runs out and you're negotiating with that team to rejoin, what you can do is say, well, I want to join your team, but I have an offer here for double the money. So I'll use this as leverage to actually get a better contract. Because otherwise, you can never really explore what your market value is. Does that make sense? You never know what your market value is until people put offers on you. So why would players get underpaid because they didn't explore options? So first of all, you can explore options for perhaps a better team. You know, what if G2 want Carzzy Kaiser? You know, which could make like a, I don't know, a super team or something. I'm not saying Mad Lions is bad. I'm just saying maybe there's like those kind of options out there. Or maybe they can get leverage. Their market price goes up and then they can get a better contract. So players not resigning is a smart decision. Players should never ever re-sign halfway through a season or halfway through a year towards the end of their contract. Never. Never, ever, ever. It's terrible to do that. Unless they're offered ridiculous money, they should never do it. Because they need to know their market value. I don't know. No one really seemed to care about this. I don't think there was a Reddit thread saying, oh, Carzzy Kaiser not resigning to Mad Lions. Copium, copium, copium. I'm mad. Right on Reddit. I don't get it. But for Bwipo, there was like 5 Reddit threads. Didn't resign. Didn't resign to Fnatic. I'm so fucking mad. Like, guys, people explore their market values. And then that just helps them leverage their contracts for when they resign. That's literally it. It's not fucking rocket science. It's just business. But we'll also talk about leaving on stream. Yeah, I saw it. Bwipo said, like, if I'm bad, I'll leave. If I'm not feeling it, I'll leave. Then that's also fine. Then it means that if he doesn't resign, then he can actually leave if he feels like he doesn't want to be there. Then that's also good. Obviously, if you don't resign, then you can leave. But I'm saying the majority of the time it's to leverage a contract, right? So yeah, that's the rundown of the roster changes. Some of them are a bit controversial, I must admit. Interesting rumors, interesting roster changes coming through.